Hello, my name is King Link, and today we have something a little different. This is both an update and a quick look at some new hardware. So if you're a fan of my channel and been watching my videos in the last month, I should apologize. My standards have slipped a little bit. My information has been impeccable as always. My video quality, well, let's be kind and call it problematic. Now, let me explain. After New Year's, I switched from using the NVIDIA Shadowplay system to OBS, the Open Broadcast software. The big reason is Shadowplay is a variable frame rate and OBS is a constant frame rate. Constant is better for editing. I used OBS for the first looks, stuck with Shadowplay for the last looks, and I can talk about both, but there's reasons I don't like either fully. It's not really important at this point. But yes, since I moved to OBS, I wanted to get better footage, and on the left you can see some footage of the Division, and that's how it was uploaded to YouTube. Technically, that was downloaded from YouTube as well, so there's YouTube's invisible hand in there, but it's a picture gallery, and was so before. Now, I'm using my Division footage because it was the worst that I've had, but it wasn't the only thing causing that. The Division itself really thrashes the CPU, so it is a problem child on its own. On the right, I'll be showing the all-new Tom Clancy's The Division footage. Now this I have captured myself from the new hardware, the Elgato HD60 capture card and a new PC that I spent a little over $300 on. Since the computer will matter in this process, let me talk about it quickly. It's a Acer TC865 NE Select i5, which has an Intel 8th generation i5 8400 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, an Intel UHD graphics 630 card. That's integrated graphics BS, not very good. A 1TB hard drive that spins at 7200 RPM, and it's just what I capture with. So yeah, it's a decent computer with a lot of processing power, which is what I was looking for. I then spent about $170 on the Elgato HD60 capture card. They do have the new 4K hotness, and Elgato. I will take a review copy of that any day. But I found both of these pieces of hardware on Newegg. Now, the setup did have an odd moment. I installed the card before I even started my PC. I went through the normal Windows setup to install it, and the first boot, and the card wasn't there. I installed the driver hoping to fix it with no luck. Then I did a reboot and of course it was found. Whatever, it's not really a big issue, just something I noticed. So how does it work? Honestly, I know they have their own software, but first let's talk about what I've used previously. I was going to try to stick to OBS just because it's an even playing field. I wanted to see if I could just plug and play this rather than learning new software. Now, that was the idea and I did that. The results are rather good. I mean, OBS recorded just fine if you want to do that, and I can recommend it. On the other hand, I only got 30 FPS, but overloaded the PC's CPU at 60 FPS. Then, to be fair, I tried using Elgato's Game Capture HD software. Now, this isn't a review of the software, but there's a good reason to use it. Now, the right side, that's 720p at 60 FPS. Yes, it's not a true 1080p, but well, the game can't get 60 FPS at 1080p on my machine, so I didn't see the point. It's not a perfect test. The point, though, is the left side is locally run OBS at a similar frame rate and resolution. The right side is captured with the Elgato HD60. Which is better? Yeah, no question. So why use their software for the test? Is that cheating because it's custom made? Well, you could say that, but no. There's a simple reason why I think their software is a valid test. Their software runs far better than OBS because it uses the Elgato's own hardware. And man, it's slick. Honestly, this was very easy to capture and looks great. Now, there is a few issues with the software. First, I don't see a way to split the audio into 2 or 3 different tracks. This is something that they said they can do on their website in 2016. I think it's outdated. You can split your commentary into its own audio file, and for what I do, that's fine. When you're done recording, the video doesn't come out immediately. Now, I'd love to see a process queue so that I know what's left to export, so I'm not wondering if the video will ever come, and there's a little bit of confusion with that. But the results, I mean, really look at them. They speak for themselves. Using the system's own hardware means I have almost no CPU expense. Now, there is disk access cost and more, but of course, OBS is heavy CPU usage. Elgato does that work for them with their hardware and software, but Elgato's own software is just so much better right now. I haven't messed with streaming yet. I might start doing that more often. We'll see. I can even play on the second system while it's running using the capture card. I'm going to say there's almost no lag, maybe just a touch, but it's really fast and I'm impressed at that. Now the card itself is excellent. It really is plug and play. I did have to set something up in OBS. There's minor complications there, but Game Capture HD software works right out of the box as well, with some minor tweaks. I'm still messing with mic volume and all. I'm sure they have some other issues I might have to work my way out of, but it's really nice. And the end result you see is night and day. Left side, you have a slideshow. Right side, a beautiful video. Now, I can only do 30 FPS in OBS. That's more CPU hardware related. Elgato got me what appears to be about 60 FPS. And again, I'm not going to blame Elgato for any issues with OBS. That's really on them. In addition, Elgato has pass-through technology here. Now, I don't see a lot of latency with it. Basically, my Alienware HDMI out goes to my Elgato HDMI in on the card, then the Elgato HDMI out goes to my TV, and there's no apparent lag. Though I will say the capture PC does have to be on for this to work, and that can stink. The video, though, looks good all the way through the pipeline, and it's nice and smooth looking. I do have to admit this is my first capture card that I've had in over 20 years, so I'm not using them that often. Back in my college days I did some, well really it was archival purposes. Back before DVD and streaming, I would grab my old favorite TV shows such as Get Smart, personal favorite, and record them. Those cards were a little more than TV tuners, but this is unbelievably good. Now, I don't know how to review hardware really. Saying it's a 4 out of 5 doesn't mean a lot. Hardware is a need-based economy. It's a different scale, but I'll give a recommendation. Honestly, I wanted something that could easily plug into my machine, capture, and have pass-through technology on the card itself, and not hurt the experience. This does use HDMI, which I wanted, and that means I can also record Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, if I wanted to risk Nintendo's copyright legal department, and it does all of that. So I have to give this card a recommendation out of a recommendation. You know, how does that scale work? Right now, I think there's only 2 values, recommended and not recommended, and honestly, Elgato gets a recommendation because it does what it advertises, it does it well, and while it does cost a bit, you're getting more than just a run-of-the-mill capture card. It doesn't cause many problems, and I'm happy with the experience. If you want to capture something, it works, and that's why I recommend it. Now, with all that said, moving forward, the goal is to use the new hardware for all recording, last looks and first looks, and maybe do a few more things with my videos. I do now have a second machine to render on while playing, and that's great, and it can be a little trickier. Now, I was going to do something like a state of KingLink reviews. I think I might change that to an intro video just because this feels like the state of KingLink reviews. I do have that discussion on microtransactions in the pipe. It's not done yet, so it'll get there. And of course, I do plan to have more videos, more gameplay, more reviews. It's in the channel's title, I will review. The good news though, I've hold off new footage to get this stuff ready. If you're a DC fan, the next video will be for you. If you're a free-to-play fan, I have 2 games in mind. I'll throw them up on Twitter and I'll let the poll decide after this video. If you want to give input, check out KingLink Reviews on Twitter. And of course, Humble Monthly Bundle might push some of this around a bit, but we'll see for sure. With that said, I'm KingLink. Thank you for watching and we'll be back very soon.